No fans today. I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm upset, and I'm ready to talk about it because I just watched this episode before we decided to record. But I'm mad.
Period.
And if you've watched any of our other recaps over the last couple of weeks, you will know exactly why, because I called it. Anyway, Mabu hey, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And oh boy, we will be putting the tea in reality today. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay, I am just currently drinking a sugar-free Red Bull that I flavored with some dragon fruit acai and also some strawberry. So it's a cute little refreshing, carbonated, caffeinated beverage Gianna situation today.
Every time I think Red Bull... Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, every time I think Red Bull now, I think of a vodka Red Bull.
Vodka? Ooh, the major circling back. The biggest circle back we could be circling back to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have mine, but there are people on this panel that have merch.
Yes.
Merch. Thank you. I don't bring it with me now because it's smudging. But
yeah,
you could get a fabulous cup mug like Brandon or KaMorian. I have one. River will be getting one at some point when her country's not on fire. And you could get yours too at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. And we do ship domestically and internationally. Currently, to the countries that are on fire throughout the world, there are some excuses. Otherwise, there are no excuses. We'll give you the pass. If your country's on fire, we don't want you. We can wait.
We need to be hydrated, so everyone stay hydrated now more than ever. But hey,
speaking of hydration,
me as I sipping before I get
literally.
Pipe.
This is the mood today. That's the vibe for today.
Yes,
that's where we're at today, y'all.
Yes. I am Brandon, professional fangirl of Monster Dragon video games. Yes, I am drinking, as usual, water out of my Stanley mug because, again, I am drinking out of my lead and it is glorious.
I'm glad to hear it.
And in lieu of David, I am also wearing a cute shirt and I have cute merch. I just saw DragRace All Stars live this past weekend and it was amazing. I got two things. I got a snip bitch from the queen of watching all of the international franchises, Angeria. And I also got a plastique fan because I almost got the one with all the queens on it, but then when I saw this, I was like, oh, I need this. So
I was gonna say three of us are in merch. KaMorian, do you want to pop yours up real quick? Because you're wearing some, right?
Yes, the God
Period.
from.
Period. And I've got my Bernie hat. Period. I like to wear it.
I don't have directly merch because shipping to my country is extremely expensive, plus taxes.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup, and today I am having to drink the most water that I possibly can because, as Logan said, my country is on fire, not in a good, cute way, in a little way. So, also today, I know is a different day for y'all from the US, but it was going to be my dad's 52nd birthday, so today I'm drinking water out of this was his mug for his favorite soccer team, so I'm just, my little way of honoring him today. So
good.
Well,
period.
Well, Mabu, hey, your favorite Black queer content creator, also pro-Filipino pride, KaMorian, aka Sparking Alien, and I'm so excited to be actually my first time doing a podcast for this season because the internet, I love my Filipinos. Okay, Philippines is a destination I'm going to. I'm gonna have fun there, and then shout out to my future husband. Hi, JP. I know you commented. I know you followed me today. Let me know when the wedding plans are, so
not the wedding plans.
I can't.
I mean, I'm lucky.
Ooh, okay. I can't tell if we're slowing down or not.
Well, we are here. We are talking about episode 6 of Drag Race Philippines. And as I said at the start, I'm angry. Not at the queens, kind of at production, just at the whole situation in general. Because I called it.
You did.
And I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say that I told anybody so, because I didn't, and I didn't want it to happen, but I did call it. So hey, it is what it is. But we are still going to talk about this episode because at the end of the day, this was a phenomenal episode of television, as Drag Race Philippines Season 3 has been giving us every single week. So we are here. We are going to talk about it. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we are here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag. And make sure to check out the description below, where you can find all of our audio podcast links, all of our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for all the franchises we are currently covering. So let's dive in. We come back into the workroom. J. Quinn is gone. Angel has won her first challenge. The girls are happy for Angel, and I'm happy that they're giving her moment, and I'm happy that we're also getting this narrative arc moment for Mix and mostly Zimba. And as soon as they started over editing Zimba at the start of the episode, I said, "Cool, we know who's going to win this challenge." Drag Race Philippines is good, but one thing they are not good about is subtlety. In the edit, in the lighting, in the makeup, no subtlety. None at all.
I mean, I will say this. Like, this episode specifically, like, yes, a lot of Zimba, but also a lot of Mix. I've been seeing.
Yes.
So, like, I've been now kind of seeing that Mix has now become the narrator of season, like, for sure. So, which I'm loving, because like I love her commentary. So I love their commentary, so it's been great.
Yeah, I love Mix as a character, like as her in the workroom and in confessionals and all of that. It's just, yes, in challenges she's been kind of like getting in her head and not doing the best, but like I just enjoy her on my screen. Just I think she's entertaining, and I kind of relate to her maybe on a very deep level. So yeah.
I also now know that I relate to her on a very deep level. We'll talk about it later.
For a different reason, but yes.
For a very different reason. KaMorian, give us your quick thoughts really quick, because you haven't been here yet for this season. What are you thinking of this season so far?
Well, I'm pretty much kind of been covering it on Twitter, and just getting so much love from it. Yeah, this really has been an amazing season, because Season 3 is that kind of that curve, that something just happens after a really good season 2. But for this one, it's so different. It's been like phenomenal so far. Like I think we're pretty much like halfway now at the point. Like like pretty much like the storylines for each of these queens. Even like Versa, who was the first out, we still got to know her on a personal level and see some kind of growth. So I really do appreciate production giving this kind of lives like give us the time to kind of really know these queens on a deep level and share like these stories. Like I don't know how many times I cried this season from so many stories that they share. Like when John's story to Nick sharing what her story is later. Like I have cried so much. Like
every episode.
Like so many twists, so many gaggery. Like the queens are amazing. So many like drama. Like it has been a top tier season. Definitely going to, I know every time, like, you know what, thank God J. Quinn is gone, but you can just tell. No, I think someone was like, thank God, or was like, oh, yay. No, someone was excited, but like,
the girls were in the workroom.
The girls were in the workroom. I think I will say, even on the fandom side, I think J. Quinn has kind of ruffled some feathers with the fandom as well. But I think she's a good queen. I just think I agree. I hope she really kind of, I think she was trying to give the drama, which I love the drama, but it just didn't feel like it kind of felt forced. And I can see why Angel had that comment, like, you're not being yourself when you're around us. You're putting on a persona. So I hope she really does. I think I like her drag. It's very like Korean K-pop cosplay, but hopefully I think going for it, she tries to like kind of make it like too much cosplay, but still I think she's an amazing person. Let's not send hate to these queens, and it's a TV show at the end of the day. But hopefully, I think hopefully she does show growth. So all the love to you, J Quinn. And yeah, I'm decided for I agree with this top 8. The top 8 we have left.
It is 8. It is 8. And I have to say, every season at top 8, they get rid of one of my favorite queens. It has been every damn season of Drag Race Philippines. Top 8, they have gotten rid of one of my favorite queens. And I won't spoil who that is necessarily because I know River hasn't watched the other season. Wait, no.
I watched season 1. I didn't watch season 2 yet.
Oh, well, Venus and another fabulous queen from season 2. Got eliminated at 8.
Oh yeah, Venus. I just really want to see her back on any season. I just want to see her back, please.
Yes,
please.
But we come into the workroom the next day. They're doing their thing. Not much drama happens before.
Actually, I did. There's one thing that it kind of I felt when I was watching the episode. That's when I decided to pick up this mug. Because Zimba was talking about how her father actually passed away right before they went to filming. So I was kind of like, oh, damn. And then like, I get it a little bit. Like, Zimba, I feel her. I could not, like, I didn't have the best relationship with my dad when he passed, but it still was a hard time because it just is. I could not imagine doing what she's doing like right after that happening. So I just want to kudos to her, and I hope that now it's like what, a year later probably. So it was around the same time for me and for her. So I just hope that she's feeling better and feeling, has more closure with that situation. Anyway.
Definitely, yeah. But we get a very fun mini challenge. And on the recommendation of David, who unfortunately could not be here for this podcast today, do we want to do our own versions of this challenge?
Oh God, I don't want to.
I love David, but no.
I don't want to peek my mic. I mean, I'll try to do the best that I can. I forgot what the whole monologue was.
Hold on, I got it. Don't worry.
No, but
I thought this was
yeah, no,
I cannot do it. I cannot do it because of the time, and I cannot speak louder than I'm already speaking in my apartment building, so I can't participate.
Makes sense.
No.
I'm just in a freestanding house, so I could do whatever I wanted to. So
would love to see it.
All right, Brandon, go for it.
All right. You animal! Your day will come! You will rot in hell!
Okay. Pretty good. Okay. You animal. Your day will come. You will rot in hell. And see.
I love the dramatism toward that.
Baby, I was a theater kid. I was a theater kid, baby. I still got it in me.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I try to pull like the whole yeah, because like my mentality with this, I was trying to do like the whole Stephanie Prince of it all, where she was like went over the levels in that acting challenge in Canada too. So that's what I was going for.
They wanted Mama Pao wanted overacting in this. I would have done a very like literally what I just did is what I would have done. But we get a winner of the mini challenge.
Can I just say this mini challenge was so much fun, and there were a few things that I highlighted because I just needed to bring it up because I was hollering. When Mix was delivering her line and did like a bit rolled back and it went while delivering it. And then who was John did a like the Dragon Ball thing.
You will rot in hell. I loved it. I lost it. And then Simba doing a jump split while delivering like
the jump split and the crawl.
Yeah.
she wins for that. And I'm gonna be real honest. I like the crawling from Zimba. I didn't love the jump split. I was like, I don't need a jump split. I don't need whatever the hell
It was
Maxie was
just
doing.
funny. It was just funny with the line, but like I would have given it to either. Honestly, I would have given it to John because she was the funniest to me.
I probably would have given it to Popstar if I'm being honest. I thought Popstar was the best.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, personally for me, I thought Tita did good.
Tita was another one that I think did really well. Yeah, Tita did real well also. Yes,
but this was just fun to watch. Like it was just so silly.
Yeah,
I love it.
But we find out that the Maxi challenge for the week is the Rusical, and we are doing Aawicked Kita, the Rusical. Now, thank you to the person that, again, DM David, who couldn't be here, unfortunately, but he did let us know the tea on that, and that it is inspired by a, what was it? Inspired by an 80s singing show in the Philippines, I believe it was.
Yes.
I'm pulling it up so I can see what it was.
Tita mentioned it when they were explaining the challenge. She was like, "Oh, I'm probably the only person here that knows of the other show that it was referencing besides Wicked." So,
yeah.
I just wanted because we're gonna talk about it. I just wanted to get out of the way right now. I have never seen Wicked.
Oh,
I've seen The Wizard of Oz, and it's one of my favorite movies. And I know the story of Wicked. I've just never seen it, but I know what it's about. So
fair.
But just to get that out of the way, because I might not get some things correct, but
yeah. So it's a nod to a musical program in the 80s called Aawicked Kita.
Mm-hmm.
So the Aawicked Kita. That makes sense. Or
it was a singing show, right?
Yeah, in the English translation of it is "I will serenade you" or "I will sing for you," basically.
Okay.
So it's like a singing show, and then they
mix that. Makes sense.
It's a cute pun. I like the pun. Mm-hmm. I am mad at the pun. So, Zimba gets to pick her part, and then there's kind of a bit of a back and forth about all of the other parts.
But she gets to cast as well. Like she lets the girls talk about it, but she gets to cast. Yes.
I didn't think that was specifically part of it. I think they just ended up letting Zimba do it and organize it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Pao say that she was gonna? Did I imagine that? I might be wrong.
I think honestly, it ended up being a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She got to pick her part, and then I don't personally remember it being that she got to cast the rest of it. I think they just let her organize it. She kind of did. Anyway, organize it because she was the one that got to pick her part. So I think that's what it was.
Because Mama Pao did say like the rest of y'all it's a free for all. So I was like, ooh, okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I thought that was actually gonna happen. So, but it was a combination. So
kind of did. I mean, they auditioned. So
yeah. They sure did audition for one part, and Angel surely gave up that one part as soon as Mix auditioned for it. I lived for it. Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, and I kind of could not see Angel as that part.
No.
I mean, maybe she would have done a good job, but like, it's not what I would immediately think for her. But
yeah, I don't know. I think everyone
with Mix, it kind of did make sense. Like she's the one that I think fit the role the best out of everyone.
Yeah, I think everyone ended up in the role that they were supposed to be in. Honestly,
yes.
Like I don't know about y'all, but I don't think anyone was miscast. But ultimately,
or maybe because I didn't understand her character. Maybe y'all could explain it to me later when we talk about it. But I was confused about Max's role. Is the thing. So.
You've got about as much information as I do. I'll say that much.
Same.
Okay.
I was confused by the premise of the Rusical. But then again, they've done this like school concept for I think every Rusical they've done on Philippines. So like, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a bit of a debate. Tita ends up in the Tita role. Is anybody surprised? No. Not at all. Oh, at all.
And it worked in her favor.
It did.
It did.
I would have liked to see her in another role. I think that is the role that, she was probably typecast to be in, obviously. But I would have liked to see her in something else, maybe, just to see, because I was worried about that with Tita, is that are we gonna get only the Tita character from her? Is she gonna be able to branch out? We've seen her branch out a little bit. And I think the biggest branching out she did, honestly, was last week for the Snatch Game. So I was happy to see it.
As the Grim Reaper, which was so sad.
As the Grim Reaper, I still think maybe should have won, but whatever. But yeah, it was, everyone ended up in the part they were going to do. They go to rehearsals with teacher Cecile. And I do love that every single one of them had a name tag on, because this woman had absolutely no clue who any of them were.
And I do want to say, I didn't watch season 2, so I don't know who the choreographer was for that. But I was just so happy to see that it was not the same horrible man from season 1. Like,
they got rid of that horrible man for season 2. Don't worry.
They did.
Thank God.
They did.
Thank God.
No,
was it this woman for season 2? Because she seemed familiar.
I think she was for season 2. I had to go back and watch that Rusical back. I think she was, but yeah, maybe season 1, that Rusical, that first ever one, that was insane. Oh my God.
No.
I kind of love it. I love how they actually put name tags for them. Like, I noticed, I think nobody else does it but the Philippines. Like, because thing is, you're a choreographer. You think I'm supposed to know who these queens are? I think at least kind of a name tag, kind of So it's especially kind of with the choreography placement. You make sure that you know who everybody is. Kind of make sure what we're trying to do for these queens, as far as like the Rusical choreography will go as planned. You know what I mean? So I like the way the Philippines does that. It puts kind of that extra edge when it comes to with
the time that they have, I don't think the choreographer has time to learn everyone's name. You know what I mean?
True.
True. Yeah.
And then I want to talk about it again. Why are they using Maxie's last name on everything for the season, but we're not using her last name on the show? Because I don't know if y'all noticed, her name tag said Maxie Anderson.
Yeah. I thought that was weird.
Name. I don't know why they're not, is it because her and Angel are both on the season and they want to, the pseudonym queens are the ones that are sisters? Because Angel also has a last name in drag. So I'm very confused.
I have a theory.
Okay.
So I think they were going to use their actual, like Maxie Anderson and Angel along, initially, and then when the season, originally aired, I guess when the season started to air, they're like, yeah, we'll just use our first names. It doesn't matter. Okay.
And actually, if I would say, I would say when Maxie was on Currently Universe, they just used her first name as well. They didn't use her full name, Maxie, for Queen.
Did they not?
They didn't use.
I thought they had.
No, they just said Maxie. I did. They just said her first name. That's it, not her full name.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Yeah, because that's my theory right now. Because if they're using their phone, they initially used their full name, and then I guess once the season started to air, they was like, yeah, we'll just use the first name, just for continuity, which is fine. But I mean, again, I don't know anything, so that's just a theory. So
yeah, it was just Confucius, but ultimately it doesn't matter.
Ultimately, does not matter at all.
At all.
And there's really nothing from these rehearsals that stood out. It was pretty cut and dry.
There was a little bit of just because they the queens bring it up later, and also in Untucked, Zimba kind of struggling with the
words.
What's the thing?
Back to the Lipsync.
The harness?
No. During the rehearsal, still, yeah, she was struggling with that and was feeling uncomfortable, and she had to kind of learn how to manage and learn how to do all of that. But I think that's the only thing from rehearsal that's worth mentioning, just because it gets brought up later. So
yeah, because when it comes to the challenge of the Philippines, I think the thing is they show that a little bit, and then it goes straight into the challenge, the next.
I prefer that.
Yeah, so it's not like you don't see a lot of stuff that happen behind the scenes. Once they do it, it's da 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 da. There's a kid 10, 15 minutes, boom. Next day, judging day, runway day. So it kind of makes it kind of ease more.
And with that being said, there's barely anything that happens the next day in the workroom before they just play the music. So guess what? I'm going to talk about how they barely had anything going on and play the music.
Oh.
With extra special guest judge Precious Paul and Nicole.
Yes.
Listen. I thought that was a really fun addition. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Is she the first queen to go back and guest judge on her own franchise?
Oh no,
drag? I think yes.
No, it was actually Amy Peru who was the first one. It was the
on
first
Holland.
Ever, yeah, she came back in drag, passing her reign to Vanessa. Yeah, it actually was that because in the same year she was
she the guest judge though?
Yeah, she was the guest judge. So not only she was the guest judge, she passed the crown. I think in that same year she was the first one to be a guest judge.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, she was. So she was in drag. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I mean, it feels right with being Envy Peru.
It doesn't happen very. No, well, we literally saw Raja O'Hara literally weeks ago.
Yeah, well,
what the fuck am I talking?
Yeah, but was she in drag? Yeah,
she was.
Raja was in drag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I mean, it feels right. I mean, you are the OG winner of this franchise. I mean, why not have a slate on this panel? And then she passed.
But it is. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I would say she passed the reign now, so she can come back as she pleases.
Oh yeah, no, I love it.
What I was gonna say is that I think she's the first that has been a guest judge in an episode that wasn't the finale or the one that she was passing the crown. That's because it's just like a random episode in the middle of the season. That's the first.
Actually, I think she's here because the thing is she won a Rusical in her season, so it kind of makes sense why they brought it back.
I was wondering why, and I thought it was because of that. So yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Mama Pow, 6 for 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with this one. Last week I thought it would be my favorite, and I still I cannot pick between last week and this one. They're tied for first. I can't. This is so good.
No, this is actually for me personally, is my opinion. This is to me the best she has ever looked on this stage. I'm sorry. Everything was perfection. Even the way she sold it with the confetti on her head,
the wig.
It went at perfection. Executed so well. I was like, oh my god, bitch.
One thing I was obsessed with, her lips. For some reason, her lips, specifically I could not stop staring at her lips. She looks so good.
This wig, the hat, the turno shoulders, just how gorgeous. You know what? She is going to get it. And KaMorian, River, y'all might need to pop up for a second. But she did what needed to be done. Period. Precious also looks absolutely stunning. I want to shout her out as well.
So
Jiggly?
I gotta say, Jiggly kind of actually turning it out this season, for episode.
Well, you want to know why? Well, you want to know why? Because Hanabeshi and Ovi are doing her styling. That's why. Hana, Ovi, y'all get your 10s. Y'all get your 10s for this. Because y'all are turning her out every single episode this season. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And then
KaMorian is
always amazing. She always serves a look.
Always.
This dark cherry ensemble. Oof. This might be the best KaMorian has ever looked. Honestly. I
don't think I can say what I'm thinking because we would be demonetized. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
I'm fanning myself trouble right now. Honestly.
I might be thinking the same thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I'm thinking the same thing. And John Santos is lovely. I didn't realize, thank you commenters, I didn't realize this man was 60.
Really?
Because I was like, oh, are they gonna alarm John this week? No, they did it to Zimba. Hey, we're staying consistent. There's at least one a week because there wasn't one in Untucked, was there?
They tried Paula, but she was running out of there.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not. No,
not with that dress.
No,
No.
Damn.
No. No, ma'am.
Let's talk about our Rusical, Aawicked Kita, the Rusical. We have our cast of characters. Mix Chanel as Glenda, Zimbading as Elvie, Angel as Christy, just Christy, John as Cindy Offord, Kiana as Naomi Campbell, Maxie as Miss Diamond, Tita Baby as Tita Needs, and Popstar Bench as Mayor Joy, who we obviously saw impersonated last season on the Snatch Game that River hasn't seen. But we did all see the character that she was
yes
doing. But with that being said, I thought this was a great Rusical.
No, this was great.
Overall, so good.
Very good.
Philippines can do no wrong with their Rusicals, like ever.
Yeah. Who did we think were the standouts? Who did we think was struggling? Who did we think all of the things? KaMorian, let's start with you.
So I would say I think pretty much everyone did a really, really good job for me. I would say my standouts, I think Kiana. I think every time like Kiana performs, like she's always like every move she hits, every nuance. Like she's a performer. She knows how to perform through and through. I will also say Tita Baby, when she came in, she sold it. I felt like she was typecasted, but I mean, typecasted very well because she can do that character. As Tita Baby, she owns the stage. And then I noticed that for me it was Mix. The Mix really came. I really felt Glenda from her, like the nuances, like her expressions, and she looked so pretty. Like that's like the prettiest I've looked. Love her mug, like everything that she did from that performance was amazing. So I was kind of gashing it and when got to she actually was like the most she has done so far this season, as far as like giving it to us. Maybe who was kind of struggling. I would say maybe kind of Angel and John, but just a little bit for me, it was still kind of good. I think pretty much no one really struggled. I think at the end it's kind of came to nitpicking, personally, but it's what it is.
Yeah, I think in general, everyone the Rusical was great overall, but individually, everyone did between good, great, and amazing. So even the person that I think did the worst still did good. But honestly, to me, Tita's opening was the highlight of the Rusical, period. And she was I think her solo was my favorite part, but she was also good when she was with the other queens on stage. She didn't fade when other people were on the same scene. I think Kiana really stood out on in the first group number, because they were kind of grouped together, her, John, and Angel, kind of. And out of the three, Kiana she was the Beyonce, period. It was very clear. But I think my controversial opinion is on Mix, because even though I think Mix did good, and I think technically she was one of the best, which I mean the acting, the actual syncing of the mouth and all of that. She didn't miss anything. I personally was a little bored. I didn't feel like she had stage presence to kind of draw me into her performance, even though technically it was great. I couldn't find anything wrong with what she was doing. For some reason, it didn't draw me in. That's all. And especially when it was a group number, she was nowhere to be found for me. But when she was in the spotlight, she did great. It just didn't connect. That's all. And then Angel and John, I kind of put it together in a way that they did good. But they kind of faded away, and the moment that they had to shine was just another moment. They didn't make anything out of that one moment they had, and it kind of they were just kind of there. And then Zimba, I think in the group number and in the number that she did with Mix was good. It was fine, but she really shined for me when she did her solo number. That was it for me, even though she looked a little messy, which I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that really it didn't bother me as much because even if it wasn't intentional, it made sense with the story. So like it's fine. And then Maxi faded. I literally cannot like it just she might as well not even been there. Like I didn't understand her character. Maybe that's why. But even the scenes that she was on, like her character didn't add anything to the story whatsoever. Like, so I don't know if it was the character or her, but it just, she would have been in the bottom for me for that. And then Popstar, I think, did really great. And it was funny. It was campy. I enjoyed it. I had fun. Every time I looked at her, I just, like the opposite of Mix. Like she just drew me in so fast and so hard. And I could not look at her. But yeah, I think the one thing about Zimba that I forgot to say was that just her ability to emote in the face was incredible. That was my favorite part of her performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and initial watch, the two standouts for me were Kiana and Mix. So that was like, but I can see where you're coming from, River. Like what Mix did, where they did shine, but when it came to the group numbers, she was just kind of there. But I will say this, like, both Zimba and Mix, like, did really well individually. Just with those quirks when it comes to being together, that didn't really, like, show as much. And to have that presence, you should still be together in a way. But I see where you get coming from there. But overall, though, like, Kiana and Mix were, like, my standouts for me. And then I do have to agree with both Angel and John, like, it wasn't as they still did good, like you said, but it didn't remember them as much. And I do agree with Maxi as well. Like I didn't remember a single thing Maxi did, and that's sad.
Yeah,
it's weird because this challenge is up her like exactly what she does basically. And just before you go, Logan, I want to ask you guys a question. Did you feel like did you feel a connection between Zimba's and Mix's character, like they're supposed to have in the story?
I did,
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted
not as much as I think they could have done. I will say that much, and that was actually going to be part of my reasoning. So I divided this group into a top 4 and a bottom 4 for me, because I think for me there were 4 people that really stood out, and I remember what they did. And I think their performances were really good. And then there were 4 people that I think still did a good job. No one was bad. Like Jiggly was saying, we have to do all of this nitpicking because we are at the point right now where that is what we are doing. So my top 4 would have been Tita, Zimba, Popstar, and Kiana.
Literally same.
And I think my personal favorite performance based on performance alone was Popstar, actually. I thought her character really popped, pun intended, in a really nice way. I think having a little bit of context behind who Mayor Joy is gave me a nice insight into knowing the kind of character that Popstar was trying to present. And I think she went for it. She went for this kind of almost delusional, and this is no disrespect to the real person, this is based on the character, but she was playing this kind of delusional woman of grandeur who's better than everybody else. And I think Popstar really, really embodied it. She took a really small part and made it a huge part. And for me, I think she was my favorite performer in the Rusical. And my second would have been Tita, because I think Tita did a really, really good job. I think she was consistent. She was present in the group numbers. She always had a facial expression, and she was always in character and showing her character. And that's something we had talked about earlier this year when we talked about the Rusical on All Stars 9. And I was talking about Chanel's performance and why I would have personally, despite, I think our panel had a lot of mixed feelings on that Rusical because it was a good Rusical. But I maintained that I thought Chanel should have been in the top for that challenge because A, she needed a damn win at that point, but B, because she was always in character, always giving a facial expression, and always giving the physical comedy that her character needed. And I think Tita did a really, really good job as well of that in this Rusical. I thought Zimba did a really good job. I agree, bless you. I agree she did fade in the group numbers, but her solo at the very end was really, really good. She was not faltering physically, even being in the harness, but I did notice, and I'm happy that Kiana brought it up later, I am happy that she was missing a little bit of the lip sync. And I do think Kiana stood out amongst her trio as well. And I think she did a good job. The back four, then I would have had Maxi, Angel, John, and Mix. Thank you. Mix is the top of that group for me.
Yes.
Because I thought she did a really good job. But I agree with you, River. It felt she was a little bit dead behind the eyes.
Exactly.
There was no. It was still a really great performance. Her lip sync was great, and she knew the character she was playing. There was just a little bit of, and the judges even brought up her having fun. I didn't see, or her like controlling or whatever. I was like, this felt like the most controlled we've seen Mix. And I love Mix. I still think she did a good job in this. There was just a little bit of over concentrating in it. But my bottom two might have been Maxi and Angel, honestly. Because of those three characters, I don't remember a single thing Maxi did. I don't remember a single thing Angel did. But I do remember what John did. Because John had that ditzy little moment during her solo. And I do remember that.
She had a funny moment.
Other than horse noises, I couldn't tell you a damn thing Maxi did. I forgot Maxi was there.
I think we have pretty much the same. I think besides like two people that would be changed, like the top two. I think we have the same like ranking of performance.
That's why I was thinking, like, your opinion's not all that controversial, I'm gonna be honest with you, just because. And I also I'm gonna say this, and I'm talking to you, fans of this podcast and audience. Thank you for watching. I want to make it clear, I am not a Maxi hater. By saying I would have had her in the bottom of this episode, I am not a Maxi hater. I love Maxi. I think she's a very talented entertainer. On this specific occasion, again, I probably would have had her in the bottom.
Yeah. And she thought, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into that.
We will get into it. But
can I, before we move on, can I say, just so we see if it's the same, like who I would have? Because I also have like my top four and my bottom four.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So for me would be from top to bottom, Tita, then Popstar. So, and I think besides that, it's the same as you. Then I would have Zimba third, followed by Kiana.
Yeah.
That would be like the top four. And then Mix after Kiana, John, Maxi, and then Angel.
Honestly. Other than that top two, that we have the same list.
Okay. Well,
I do love though that we're kind of all over the place with it, because at the end of the day, it was a really good musical, and like so many people did do really well that it was really, really difficult to be like. I had to watch it twice because I was piecing apart like, okay, well, this person did this really good, and this person really shone in her solo. Like Zimba did really good at her solo, but like the rest of the performance was a little mid. So it was just like,
at the end of the day, nobody did bad. Like even I think like from all four of us, even the person that we liked the least, we still thought did good, right?
Oh, Angel was still incredible. Like, Angel was still incredible to me. I was watching this with my boyfriend, and this is his first season of Philippines. And he was just sitting there just like, this is the best Rusical I've ever seen. Like,
this is where it's at.
I told him that. I literally told him, I was like, except for that first one. Last year's Rusical was really good.
Yes.
Season 2's Rusical, period.
Season 1, that pageant thing, was that the Rusical? Jesus
Christ. No, that wasn't that one. It was the it was the OPM divas. They were all like different like famous.
Yes.
Oh, that one was
that was
the
good.
Rusical on Philippines is good. The Rusical on Philippines is good.
That was the improv, the pageant. That was the one I was kind of like a disaster.
True, that's true.
And Miss Universe was there. 2015 winner was there when it happened.
And we lost an icon and a diva that episode, and I'm still pissed off about it. Anyway, we are going to talk about the runways over on our Look Over Here episode, so please make sure to check that out because we will be diving into all of that. But let's talk about Untucked really quick.
Jesus Christ.
Because more drama, more tears, more Precious Paul and Nicole. All of it. But we do get our safe girls, which were Kiana and Maxi. We'll talk about whether they deserve to be safe or not later.
Sure.
They go back. And they decide that they're just going to make a drink out of Kiana's chamber pot.
Yep. Can I just say this before we get into Untucked?
Please. Yeah.
This episode just reminded me of this, but Philippines Untucked in general, although very entertaining, just reminds me of how happy I am that I decided to stop drinking.
Right.
Because, anyway, that's it. Yes, it's entertaining, but honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of the reality part. I like the competition. So, like, I like to see drama like this on, like fake shows, like scripted shows, not real life. I don't really enjoy seeing messy drunks in real life on TV or next to me. So, let's get into it.
That's valid and fair. Well, they start talking. They're talking about who should be in the top, who should be in the bottom. They're doing all the things, which leads into the conversation that they end up having when everybody comes back in the workroom.
Everyone comes back in the workroom. When they're talking about who they think should have been in the top and bottom, Kiana says that she thinks she should have been in the top, which I kind of agree, because I think she would have been my top 3. Well, no, she would have been my 4th. So actually, I agree. Yeah, so actually, no. But she was the closest to be in the top. So I kind of understand why she felt that way. But Max saying that she thought that she was going to be in the top was something. And then after saying that, talking about how proud she is of being humble. It's so camp. And like, honestly, I get it. Tell yourself whatever you need to hear, baby. It's fine. It was just really funny.
I'm just trying not to say too much on Maxi because people are going to think I am a Maxi hater, and I'm not.
I'm not a Maxi hater, but if people think that I am, you can think whatever you want. I also do not care.
Right. So then we get the moment. They all come back into the workroom. Everybody's getting their absolute cocktail. And it starts with, I'm going to say it starts with a one-off, just throwaway comment by Kiana that ends up turning into this big whole debacle between Kiana and Zimba.
Yes. Because the thing is, all of our feelings are valid and we are all allowed to have whatever opinion we want to have. Is it necessary for us to share our opinions all of the time? So, and I think exactly one of the reasons why I stopped drinking is because I had the habit of saying my opinion when it was not necessary or asked for. And this was the case for Kiana, which I love Kiana. She is my favorite this season so far, but like the confidence and the cockiness line is becoming very thin.
Yeah.
And even though I understand everything, I'm not like, I don't hate her because of all of this or anything, but it's just, we'll get into it more, what happens later, but like this episode just left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to especially Kiana. But I still like her, but it did change my mind a little bit.
I came away with a similar feeling. I'm not even
a
gonna lie
little.
to you. Like,
Yeah.
just a scotch, because I think Kiana has been really, really good, and Kiana has been praised so much in this competition that I'm worried that it's getting to her head, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of this cockiness, just a touch of it.
Because the thing is, she's treating the girls the way that she didn't like that she was being treated at first. So like all of the empathy that I had for you, here's the thing. I have a lot of empathy for people, but when you do to other people what you don't like being done to you, all love to you. I hope you live a very happy life, but I don't care about you, your feelings. Like, you're allowed to feel whatever way you want, but like, I don't give a fuck how you feel, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, period.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, personally, I was like, I agree. Like, this kind of legitimate kind of thing. The first thing about like Kiana came into this competition kind of being underestimated by pretty much all her cast. So now, like, now that they've seen, now like I think after like the first few episodes, now like you know, she's like slaying this whole thing. I just like, you know what, like I don't care like about these girls. I'm pretty much the one to beat right now. I'm pretty much been consistently doing well. Even though I have been saved, I have pretty much do well in the runways and also the match challenge as well. So I can see that. I mean, I agree with like part like I understand like Zimba's lip sync parts were kind of out of sync sometimes, and then you know, personally, I feel like you should help to yourself. Because personally, say I was done, but I feel like I gave my all in a Rusical. I did my best, you know, to love my runway. I'm the top, and then going to Untucked and getting that kind of news with somebody, it's like, damn, like what I do to you. So.
It was right after. The thing is, it wasn't just out of nowhere and nobody had asked. But it was right after they asked everyone to say what the critiques were. And Zimba had just said that she had perfect critiques. And after Zimba saying that she had perfect critiques and wasn't the top, Kiana was like, well, I gotta be honest, I didn't think so. Like, okay, that's fair and valid, but is it necessary to say, first of all, like that, and second of all, in this moment? Because she could have said it in Untucked, but she could have said it later. You know what I mean? And in a different way. It was just, I get it, she was drunk, but like, as a sober person, I have empathy for drunk people saying shit to a certain degree. You know what I mean? To a certain point. Because yes, it does affect you, but also like, you are still responsible for the shit that you say and do.
That part.
It doesn't matter. You're still responsible. You still said it. You still did it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing about most, like when it comes to just like drag culture in general, with how much like drag queens like drink in general. Like, it's unfortunate because like here's the thing. Like when it comes to me talking with a lot of drag queens in general, myself included, because I involved myself with the DC drag scene too much, but at the same time, it's like what I love to like be around. I do see.
Hey, at least you can acknowledge it's too much.
It is.
I mean, awareness is everything, baby. Go ahead.
And here's the thing: like, I tell people how much I'm aware of how much I drink, and people are like, "But you're off right now. We're going to drink more." And I'm just like, "Listen, like when you have like a job the next day."
That part.
Especially like, yes, I'm a social drinker on the weekends, but at the same time, like I cannot do that like every single weekend. So
right.
Like it's really sad because honestly, after I became sober, I do not have friends in the queer community. I like in-person friends. I don't, because everyone drinks and or does drugs, and they are not interested in doing other things that do not involve drinking or doing drugs. So it's one of the reasons I'm glad I found this podcast, because I can have free friends to talk to and not have to drink. But anyways, it was entertaining. It was entertaining, even though I got mad.
Right. I'm like, it's still an entertaining situation.
Good TV.
But yes, then we get and obviously Mix talked about it on the runway. And we get the continuation of the conversation in Untucked, obviously because not everyone was there, talking about how they've been living with HIV for 2 years, was it? 2 years? Yeah. And it's wild that I keep talking about this on this podcast so frequently and so close together. But I have talked about it before. I am also living with HIV, have been for about a year now. And every time I hear about it on Drag Race, I get emotional. And I did before, obviously. But I really appreciate how many people on Drag Race this year we've seen talk about it. And it's been a lot. Like, across the world, it has been a good number of people have talked about it. And it just makes me really happy to know that people are being very, very visibly open about it. And that's part of the reason why I have been too. It's not something I would wish on my worst enemy, but as Mix said, it is a circumstance of life. There is nothing I can do about it now but take a medication daily to make sure that I am healthy. And that is what I'm doing. And I appreciate Mix for talking about it so openly. I am very thankful that within a month of taking medication, I was undetectable. And I, to this day, feel incredibly lucky that that is the case, because that is not the case for everyone. And everything that they said and everything that, you know, Tita was saying and everybody was saying is so true. It's not the disease that's going to kill people. It's the stigma behind it. And I still experience it daily.
Because it used to be the disease that would kill people, but it's not anymore. And people, and that has changed, but the stigma has not. So the one thing that keeps hurting that community is exactly that. So I'm always happy when girls talk about it for that reason that you said, that it just makes it easier for everyone else to want to be open about it. And also because it makes us, like as people, realize that, one, it's more common than we think, and it's more people than we think that live with that. And of course it does affect those people and some people around them, but it's not the horrible thing that it used to be. Of course it's not a good thing, but it's not that anymore. And I wish that people would just let that idea of what it is to have to live with HIV, I wish people would just let that go. Just let it go. Leave it in the past.
Because if I never said a damn thing about it, not a single one of you would ever have any idea.
And it would not make any difference in any of our lives.
100%. The other thing is, like, the other thing that and when I talk to people about it, it's like, I didn't ask for this. So why are you doing all of this, all the shenanigans and buffoonery? I didn't ask for this. Has it helped me get a lot healthier overall? Yes. And I am thankful for that. I didn't ask for this. I wouldn't have it if I had the choice. But it's a reality of my situation now, and it's something that I have to live with. And Mix's quote specifically rings so true to me. Like, yes, I have HIV, and yes, I am living my life to the fullest. And that's all I appreciate Mix for being so open about all of it. So we love you, Mix. As if I needed more reasons to love Mix. If I needed more reasons to love Mix. But
it does kind of make sense as to why she was so, like, in her head in the previous episodes. because she was probably thinking like, should I come out? Like, should I say it? Should I not? My family doesn't know. Should I come out? Like, she was probably thinking about that, and if she wanted to tell everyone, and if she wanted to, how? Because I'm thinking that's how her brain works. This is how my brain works.
Oh,
you think about every possible scenario. Exactly.
Because it's how my brain works. Because I still haven't told most of my family either. I've talked to random people on the internet before my actual family about it. Not that it's something that I'm hiding either, but so.
Yeah.
And then
before we move on, because there's one thing I forgot, because I write everything down my little notebook.
Yes,
yes,
God.
Anyway,
thank you.
The one thing about still about Kiana versus Zimba that I noted was when Paula Nicole came in.
That's where I was headed. That's where I was headed. So go for it.
But I don't remember if it was before or after Paula, because I think Kiana said this before Paula came in. She said, because Zimba said something, and then Kiana said that what she said. Oh, she said that Zimba was only in the top because of her outfit. To Zimba's face. She said, "You're only in the top because of your outfit." I was like,
"Oh, yeah, she did." Yeah, she said that.
What do you mean? Kiana, I was rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you. How dare you? I was rooting for us.
We were rooting for
us.
We were rooting for you.
And then Paula came in, bringing that great energy that she has. And when she sat down, she was like, she kind of asked the girls, like, so, like, what's up?
Because she knows it works with a lot of these girls, too.
Yeah, and she knows what the judges said on the runway, right? So she kind of wanted to see, like, so how, like, everything. And then Zimba, it was in her feelings. And she said, like, and she just, Paula asked, and then Zimba said, because they were sitting right next to each other. So Zimba just said, oh, some people said that I don't deserve to be in the top. And then this is when I got heated, for real. When Kiana said, after Zimba said that, Kiana said, don't make up a story just for others to love you. Bitch.
Girl.
Absolutely not.
Girl.
Well, first of all, you gotta remember what you said. First of all, Kiana, honey, darling baby, dearest.
Hold on.
First of all, you have to remember what you said.
I thought she wasn't her feelings this episode. She would say she was in her feelings.
Baby girl, you have been in the top. Baby girl, you have been in the top 4 out of 6 weeks. Being safe 2 weeks in a row is not bad, darling.
It's not.
No, like no.
Face.
No, like let me tell you, like the thing is, it be those like if you like a top dog in a competition and then you get saved and then you kind of like you be in your feelings. They be like, I was a top dog. Like these hoes were behind me. Okay, I'm like, baby, it's my show. I run this, and then we get put to the back. Hold on, wait a minute, hold on, this ain't right. Y'all trying me today? No. And that was Kiana to her feelings in this episode. I will say it's gonna affect her in the end. I think Kiana still make it to the end, but without a doubt. But I will say her insecurity is gonna get the best of her. I feel like she can't let in the bottom if those insecurities keep on coming out. So that's only my worry. But I think she's gonna slay it. But I think definitely if she keeps her insecurities up, it's gonna affect her, and then boom. But I feel like she's gonna get like some sweet taste, a humble pie soon. It's probably gonna happen. But we don't know. It might happen though.
But she doesn't need a humble pie. She's already humble. Didn't you hear? The last thing I wanted to mention was Paula. I love Paula. She clocked Kiana so fierce and so fast. Because Kiana said, she was like, okay, why? Why do you think that Zimba should be in the bottom? And then Kiana said that it was because of the lips that were not syncing and that she could see. And then Paula quickly said, oh, are you watching her while you're performing? And then Kiana said, yes. And then Kiana said, I did. And then Paula said, you did? Wow, that's some multitasking. And that was so shady. I loved that moment so much. Clock it, Paula. Clock it.
Damn it.
Oh, it's not even working.
Yeah, it's not working. Oh, there it is.
Period.
Baby, I'm gonna need you to tone it down a bit, baby. You wanna be in this circle with me? I will need you to kind of pipe it down a bit. You know, if you in the
She was
Not
trying
too
to
much
play,
on my sister.
She was trying to play nice, but because I was like, I'm trying to take it back. I'm like, no, either say it with your say that shit with your chest and stand on it, or take it back and apologize. No in between. No in between. Either stand on it or take it back. Don't try to say it and then act like you didn't, and then be like, oh no, but if I actually did, it wasn't as bad as y'all think it was. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the results from this beautiful, gorgeous, lovely episode. So, our top 3, as determined by the judges, were Tita Baby, Mix Chanel, and Zimba Ding. Am I mad at these 3 entertainers being in the top? No. Based on runway and challenge, not mad.
Yeah.
If we're combining the 2 together, not mad. Not mad. And we do end up with the winner this week being Zimba Ding 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 Ding. Her second win, even though in Untucked she was talking about this would be her first Rue badge. But I'm like, baby girl, you won the... No. She didn't win the first.
No, she was top 2.
Because it was a lip sync for the win.
I thought she had 2 wins now.
No, it was only
history.
No, I'm so happy for Zimba. She has pretty much been getting like a whole redemption for her drag mother, Brigadine. Like really been like kind of pretty much like, because I think pretty much, I wouldn't say not the snatch game though, but at least like as far as like actually like showing like, you know, the Hasadine, like we know our brand, you know, everything. I feel like Zimba have to pretty much have had to prove that the Hasadine, my drag mom, you know, we're that girl, and she has proven it this season. So I'm very happy.
Bomba Ding is gonna have to come in and redeem Snatch Game on season 4 or something, because the one thing they cannot redeem is the damn Snatch Game. The Ding Dynasty. But I'm not mad at Zimba winning, all things considered. I think given runway and challenge performance, for me, I'm gonna say again, and I know I'm a broken record here, but I do think it should have been Tita Baby.
No, I fully agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tita's look was, because I'm not going to be here for a look over here. Like, her look was not my favorite, but I think it was, maybe it's my favorite thing that she's worn so far, because it wasn't my favorite, but it was still pretty good, like really good. So I would have given it to Tita as well.
But I'm not mad at Zimba winning this whatsoever. Obviously, the redemption arc storyline is there. She had the solo moment. Like, I'm not too mad at Zimba winning.
My second choice would be Popstar, but then with her runway, they could not give her that win. They could not give her that win.
No, with this runway though, I absolutely agree with this bottom 3 of John, Angel, and Popstar. I could have popped John out and put Maxi in there, but Maxi also had a really good runway. We'll talk about it. But
yeah, Maxi had a good runway.
But the thing is, here's the thing. I want to see, because I feel a certain way about Popstar being in the bottom, because as much as I think that runways should count for the final result, I don't think they should count more than the challenge. So, like, I would have understood Popstar maybe being in the bottom 3, but I don't understand her having one of the best performances on the challenge and having to lip sync just because her look was not as good. Because it wasn't horrible. It was just not as good.
So here's the thing.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I agree with you. And we do end up with Angel being saved and a bottom of John and Popstar, which I don't agree with. Realistically speaking, I think of this bottom 3, I think it should have been John and Angel. That's just me personally.
Me too.
What I will say is I think the main reason they put Popstar in the bottom was because they told her last week that her runways needed to be better. But also, like, girl,
how though?
They know
how the show works.
Going on. she has a lot going on behind the scenes that obviously the producers have to know about. The fact that she like didn't get quality garments from a designer that she paid, but also B,
she said it on camera so they know.
Mhm.
Yeah. B, how is she supposed to improve her runways if she can't, if there's no like seamstress there? Like, is she supposed to like IOU one of the other girls in the competition, be like, hey, can you make me this this Kumat Couture look real quick? Like, can you do something like
ask an eliminated girl to leave her stuff? Like what? What can she do?
Like, should J. Quinn have left Popstar her look last week? I don't think it would have kept her out of the bottom two. I'm gonna be honest with you. J. Quinn did look good this week on her look, though. I won't even lie to you. J. Quinn kind of ate with her Kumat Couture, and so did Yudi Pota. Go check out the girls because they're posting.
Oh, Yudi! Oh,
Yudi looks good, baby. But at the end of the day, I understand them putting Popstar in the bottom simply because I genuinely thought this was the moment that we were gonna get. Okay, cool. Popstar has been literally safe for 5 weeks, and we're gonna send her home. That is what I
thought. When I thought she was lip syncing, I immediately was like, "Oh, she's going home." Immediately, before they even I even saw what the lip sync song was, because that was what the story, like what the producer were trying to give us. I have been agreeing with most of the results on Philippines, but this episode, I still enjoyed it very much. But this bottom judging was weird.
Yeah. So they lip sync to Dadalhin by Regine Velasquez, who always provides really great lip sync songs. Because the other one I think of immediately is
Shine.
It was Turing and Morgana.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was so good.
There is something.
No, baby. No, I can still remember that. That was, that was an assassin. I had never seen someone get like assassinated so hard in a ballad, like in a ballad like that. Like, let me tell you. Like, let me tell you, like, let's say like it was just Linda Morgana by herself. I would throw money. I would throw my heel on the stage. Like, I would
throw myself on the stage.
I would be broke. I'd rather go broke for this girl because that was a moment.
There is something about a ballad lip sync on Drag Race Philippines every single time they have done a ballad. Because even Turing did great in that lip sync too. Turing did great in that lip sync. Like every single time they have done a ballad on Drag Race Philippines, it has been incredible. It has been legendary. This was no exception for me. I thought this was an amazing lip sync from both entertainers. But for me personally, I think John won the lip sync.
Same.
Because I think Popstar had it in the Popstar had it in the first half. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Popstar had it in the first half. And then her reveal got messy.
Exactly.
Just like her reveals on the runway got messy, her reveals in this lip sync got messy.
And after receiving critiques during the reveals on the runway, I don't understand why she did the reveals on lip sync. Why? It didn't even make sense with the song. Like, I don't know what the song was saying in the lyrics, but it didn't make sense with the vibe of the song, at least. And also when she did like the little stunt where like she popped some streamers. Is that the name?
Yeah.
That was also messy. Like actually, like shooting out the streamers was messy, and after when she was like wrapped around them, because if it wasn't for that, I preferred Popstar's performance. If she hadn't done the reveal and the streamers, she would have won for me. But because of that, I was like, no, actually, John did better. But hey,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm upset. I'm devastated. I was shook. Like, I was actually screaming. Like, screaming. What the fuck? Screaming.
I was like, wow. I was like, I was like, oh my god, I don't want. I think I love all. At this point, like I love all these queens. Like it's hard to see
Agreed.
someone go. Oh my, like if I wanted a double shot, I would have gave it kind of notion, but also pop star. It's kind of messing with the bills, but like, I would just think like John was slaying, like she was doing so good. Like she was, like I thought she was top for like literally like 3 weeks in a row. This girl has been eating it out of the park. Ugh.
But I guess they decided to keep Popstar.
I love Popstar. She's on my draft team. I love Popstar. But I just don't agree. I'm happy she's still there because I do want to see more of her. But I don't agree. I think John won. But honestly, I don't think Popstar should have been lip syncing. So I'm kind of like torn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But wait,
I'm sad for David also because he's not going to be able to say Fideliaga anymore.
Fideliaga. But I'm just confused by this. But what I do want to say, because John has been the biggest supporter of our podcast this season, and even beyond that, like there is something so wholesome and beautiful about John as a human, as a drag artist. I just have absolutely fallen in love with her on this season. Easily one of my favorite queens from Drag Race Philippines. Easily one of my favorite queens of all time. And I think from the rest of her runway package that we're going to see, I really think we are looking at one of the top runway packages of the year from John, because John gave every single bit of themselves to this competition. And I am very sad that we're not going to get to see more of her here. I feel wholeheartedly confident we are going to see John again on Drag Race.
Yes.
100%. I hope so.
I don't know what
Brandon, we can start a petition and we'll get that going. If not,
Brandon, I'm going to need you to start a petition. Thank you. John Fideliaga for UK versus the World 3. Thank you very much. Because this baby deserves to have more time on TV to show how beautiful of a person and a drag artist they are. And I love John.
I could argue something that could actually work out in her favor. Drag Race season 18 US. Because
RuPaul,
John, if you're listening, John, audition.
RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
Put this lady on your shirt.
I feel like John would be one of the queens that, like, international queens that RuPaul loves immediately after meeting. I feel like John has very much that energy for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna dismiss John. To be honest, actually, I'm gonna say this now. John permits congeniality.
Oh, 1,000%.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm so happy that we grew to love her like these past 3 weeks. Like, to me, like, just her story, to see what she went through and just how she prevailed, and seeing how happy she is now. Like, I get so emotional thinking about it every time. Like, she went through a lot at a very young age, like a lot. And to see how much she propelled, I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. Like, she continues to remain positive throughout her trauma. So I'm very happy for her. I'm gonna miss you, girl.
And not just that, because I want to second everything that you said, Logan, and everything that you just said, KaMorian. Not just that, doing all of that, being extremely kind, from what I could tell, at least. Like, going through all of that is hard enough, but being able to be as kind as she is after going through that is something to be very proud of. And I aim to be more like John in that regard, honestly. I haven't been this upset with an elimination in a very long time.
Same.
So upset.
Same.
Also, John's track record is wild.
Right?
Safe, high, eliminated.
But hey, Philippines, one thing Philippines is always going to do is keep her on our toes. We never know what to expect. That I enjoy.
Well, I didn't want to expect
But-
this.
Well, literally, yeah.
But
I'm trying to look at the bright side because I am so depressed with this result.
I
I'm just
know.
trying to, soothe myself.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to continue to bring you on the bright side of anything, River.
Oh,
but I
baby,
will
I figured out
say,
that so long ago.
oh, but what I will
On the
say,
draft? Bitch.
oh, but what I will say about the draft, you are not the first person out of the draft this season.
See, I've won already. Oh, win is a win.
Well, you're still in last, but well,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Brandon is officially the first person out of the draft this season.
Yeah.
And somehow
Who was your team?
Gidi Pota and John Feliaga.
Oh,
great team.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Lovely team.
Damn.
Love your team. But even with all that being said, River, you're still in last place currently. With
Of course I am.
with 21.5 points, hanging on still with a
Going
hot
strong.
100. Brandon is ending the draft currently in 5th place. We'll see whether that stands, but ending with 28.5 points. There's been a bit of a shakeup in the draft standings. And Lana is now currently sitting in 4th with 31.5 points. I've popped up to 3rd. Thank you, Tita, with 36 points. David is currently in 2nd with 39.5 points, and Eve is still currently leading the draft with 44.5 points. So, I want to talk about now our next week challenge because I have a conspiracy theory that they just couldn't get one of John's relatives to come do the makeover because we are getting a loved one makeover next week. I hate it because my favorite person always goes home. My favorite person always goes home on a makeover challenge. So I'm worried.
And it does make sense with it. I'm scared. Oh, now I'm scared. I know exactly what you're thinking, Logan, and now I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm scared.
Who are you thinking? Because it's probably the same person I'm thinking.
Tia.
Absolutely, I'm terrified.
Yeah. But here's the thing about John, because yes, that could be, but couldn't they invite? Because it doesn't say family makeover; it says loved ones. So couldn't they have invited like a friend or some like? Probably yes, I think.
My conspiracy theory
or maybe
is that
they didn't want to fly anyone from the U.S. Maybe
that's what I'm thinking.
That part.
That's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense.
And if that's the case, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do we expect more? No.
No.
We should, but we don't.
But with that being said, make sure to check out our episode of Look Over Here, which is dropping shortly after this one airs, so we can dive into all of the looks from this beautiful runway. Another gorgeous runway. Cannot wait to talk about it.
I loved it. Because I'm not going to be here for a Look Over Here, so I just want to say I loved this runway overall. One of my favorites. So good. So beautiful.
This season just keeps delivering nonstop. But we are going to be over on Look Over Here talking about the runway look from this week. But with that being said, thank you for joining us for our recap of episode 6 of Drag Race Philippines. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below, as you all always do. And we thank you so much for joining us and commenting and promoting us over here doing Drag Race Philippines. We appreciate it. Make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels here on the Cup Network, because we put out a lot of content weekly for y'all. So thank you. And there's a lot of drag content coming very, very soon. Very excited at the alleged drop very, very soon of Drag Race Thailand. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for Drag Race Thailand. But yes, check out all of our YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. With all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers.
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 John.
First of all,
Just John.
you gotta remember what you said.
John, why? Oh.
Just John.
Kindness, San Francisco.